Hello, friends, and welcome to our amazing Bible story adventure. Today, we're going to travel way back in time to meet a very special man named Noah. Are you ready? Let's go. Long ago, the world was a beautiful place filled with people God had created. But something sad happened. Many people forgot about God. They stopped being kind to each other and did things that made God's heart very sad. The world was filled with naughtiness and wasn't the loving place God wanted it to be.
But in the middle of all this, there was one man who was different. His name was Noah. Noah loved God with all his heart.
He talked to God, he listened to God, and he always tried to do what was right. Noah was a good and righteous man, and he stood out like a bright, shining star in a dark sky. He had a wonderful family, his wife, and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who also had their own families. One day, God spoke to Noah. God told him, "Noah, I am very sad about how the people on earth are behaving. I am going to wash the world clean with a great, big flood. But because you have been faithful and good, I will save you and your family." Then, God gave Noah a super important, super big job. He said, "I want you to build a giant boat, a huge ark." God told Noah exactly how to build it. It had to be very long, very wide, and very tall, made from strong gopher wood. It needed to have a roof, a big door on the side, and 3 levels inside, like a 3-story floating house. Can you imagine how big that must have been? Bigger than your house, bigger than your school, maybe even as long as a soccer field. Noah listened carefully to everything God said. He didn't question God. He trusted him completely. So, Noah and his sons got to work. Chop, chop, chop went the axes on the trees. Bang, bang, bang went the hammers on the nails. They worked every single day for a very, very long time. While they were building, people would walk by and see this giant boat being built on dry land. They probably laughed and pointed. "Noah, you're so silly. Why are you building a boat when there's no water?" They would say. But Noah didn't let their words stop him. He kept on working and even told them about God's plan, hoping they would change their ways and learn to love God too. But sadly, they just wouldn't listen. As the ark was getting finished, God gave Noah another very important instruction. He said, "I want you to gather all the animals. You will bring 2 of every kind into the ark, a male and a female. For some special, clean animals, you will bring 7 pairs of each." So, Noah and his family started gathering the animals. Can you picture it? The tall giraffes with their long necks had to duck to get in. The big, stompy elephants walked up the ramp, thud, thud, thud. The lions with their big roars, the bears, the zebras with their cool stripes, and even the tiny little mice. Creepy crawly insects, beautiful birds of every color, slithery snakes, every kind of animal you can think of, they all came to buy 2, marching peacefully into the ark. It must have been the most amazing parade ever. God made sure all the animals came to Noah, from the biggest to the smallest. When all the animals were safely inside, and the ark was filled with enough food for everyone for a very long time,
God told Noah it was time.
"You and your whole family, go into the ark now," God said. So, Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives all went inside. After they were all safely in, God himself shut the big, heavy door of the ark. They were sealed inside, safe and sound. For 7 days, they waited inside the ark. And then it began. Drip, drop. Drip, drop. The rain started to fall. It wasn't just a little shower. It rained harder and harder. Water also came up from under the ground. Soon, puddles became ponds, ponds became lakes, and lakes became a giant ocean covering everything.
The rain poured down for 40 days and 40 nights without stopping.
The water rose higher and higher, covering the tallest trees and even the highest mountains. The whole world was covered in water. But inside the ark, Noah, his family, and all the animals were safe. The big boat floated on top of the water, just as God had promised.
They were gently rocked by the waves, protected from the storm outside. After 40 days and 40 nights, the rain finally stopped. But the water was still everywhere.
They floated on the water for many, many months. It must have been a long time to be on a boat.
Noah and his family took great care of all the animals, feeding them and making sure they were okay.
Finally, one day, the ark gently rested on the top of a mountain called Ararat. The water was slowly going down. Noah wanted to see if there was any dry land yet. So he opened a window and sent out a raven. The raven flew back and forth, but couldn't find a place to land. A little while later, Noah sent out a dove. The dove flew around but came back because she couldn't find a dry spot for her feet either.
Noah waited another 7 days and sent the dove out again.
This time, when the dove came back in the evening, she had a fresh olive leaf in her beak. Hooray! This was a sign that the plants were growing again. The water was definitely going down. Noah waited 1 more week and sent the dove out for a 3rd time. This time, she didn't come back. This meant she had found a nice dry place to build her nest. It was time. God spoke to Noah again. Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, so they can multiply on the earth. Noah opened the giant door of the ark. One by one, they all came out onto the fresh, clean earth. Imagine the feeling of the warm sun and the fresh air. The animals ran, hopped, and flew out, happy to be on dry land again. What a joyful celebration it must have been. The very first thing Noah did was build an altar to thank God. He and his family worshiped God and thanked him for keeping them safe through the flood. God was so pleased with Noah's thankful heart. And then God made a very special promise. He said, I will never again curse the ground because of humans, and never again will I destroy all living creatures with a flood. As long as the earth exists, there will be planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night. And to show his promise, God placed something beautiful in the sky. He said, I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my promise. So now, every time we see a beautiful rainbow stretching across the sky after it rains, we can remember God's promise. It's a colorful, beautiful reminder that God loves us, protects us, and always, always keeps his promises. Just like he kept Noah and his family safe, God promises to always be with us too. What a wonderful adventure and an even more wonderful promise.
Thank you for joining our story today. I hope you loved learning about Noah and God's incredible promise. Don't forget to look for rainbows. See you next time for another amazing story. Bye for now.